So we'll move on. I want to talk about this Tortorella thing. So obviously last episode we talked about Zegras and that goal and how amazing that was and how he flipped the thing over. So Jesse, I sent you the original in the second email I sent you the original Torts clip that everybody's talking about. And then the other one is one that's making the rounds that is an extended 6-minute sort of bite.
Tweeted by Arda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried with this one, folks. I did. I saw the clip. I saw the first 20 seconds, and I just said, listen, everyone, because I saw it starting to take off. I'm like, there's a clip going around. Don't share it. Just starve it. Mm-hmm. And it didn't work.
Well, I don't think it will. So there's a couple of
Not
things.
that I ever thought it would, but...
I want to discuss a couple things with this, though, because I think there's some relevance to... There's a lot to take out of this, actually.
Sure. Oh,
Other
absolutely.
than that, to me, it's an opinion I objectively disagree with. And I think you would know that if you listen to this show. I love showmanship. I love theater. It's great. Torts is probably not your guy, right? Not everybody's your ally. Torts is probably not the ally of this is exciting hockey. Look at how Columbus played. But it worked for him, and it's whatever. So, Jesse, let us know when you're ready to do that clip, and I would love to hear this thing one more time.
So you want the original one?
The original
the
clip for now.
6-minute one? Sure.
Do I shut up or do I say pause at certain points? I can shut up. I'll do it.
I think you shut up and let this part, and then during the 6-minute clip, which we can skip past the Torts part on, during the 6-minute clip, then we can stop and start. Is that fair?
No,
yeah.
All right.
It's tremendously skilled. For Sonny Milano, even to yell Michigan in the middle of a play in a game is skill. That's a skilled play. My position, though, is it good for the game? Like I hear Ray saying all the kids are doing it now, okay, in practice and stuff like that. I'm not so sure. And again, I'm not trying to be a fool here, but I'm just not so sure it's great for the game. If you did that back in the 2000, late 90s, 2000, you get your head taken off. It's cool, you know, it's cool to watch and all that, but I'm not so sure it's good for the game. And I stand by that.
50 have said if they were on your team and they did that.
Yeah, I'd have a talk with the people. I would after the game. And again, I'm not trying to be difficult about it. It's fun to watch. It's really cool, but I just think I think our game has gone so far away from what the game should be. A hard game, an honest game, and it's almost gotten too showman. I know you need to have it. You need to sell the game, but I'm from the ilk of it's still a hard game to play, and a good, honest hockey game needs to be played. I think some of this stuff here, we get carried away.
But that's good for the game, though. The fact that it's been viewed that many times?
Yeah.
The fan that we're trying to attract
yes.
is the casual fan.
But I think you're losing fans, too. I think you're losing other fans also when you're attracting others towards this stuff.
Okay, now you hear the deadness
I made it.
of the room. You did it. Congratulations.
I almost didn't. I speed wobbled there at the end.
So what do you want to say? What do you guys want to say? I want to hear what you both have to say.
For someone as brash as John Tortorella to state his opinion so sheepishly, he knows what he's saying stupid. And he says, when he goes, I stand by that, I question his authenticity. The more I watch that clip, I'm like, someone told him to say that. He's not this stupid.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Unless he is.
Do you agree with that, Jesse?
That somebody told him to say it?
I think that's pretty authentic.
Well, there's options. There's two. I see. He's this stupid. Someone told him to say a stupid thing. Because it's a stupid thing. There's no opinion here. It's stupid. So either he said a stupid thing or someone told him to say a stupid thing. Those are the two options.
Do you think he's just doing it for TV? Like he might have made that decision just to have take the other side just so he can get a reaction.
Listen, he's certainly not embracing the villain role. That could have been so much more compelling television to me. Like if he were like, it's like,
no, but
say it with your chest.
If he comes out and he does the Stephen A. Smith thing, then it doesn't come off as authentic. This comes across as authentic because he's a little ashamed of it. But this is his true heart, and he's getting it out there.
Like genuinely, you believe we're losing fans?
Yeah, I don't think he believes what he's saying. I agree with you on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because it's been
Because I don't. Who's not watching the game because of that?
I have to.
John, let me throw this out there. Good. If we're losing, okay, if we gain thousands of fans
and lose a couple
and lose hundreds,
plus,
net positive.
Plus minus.
Yes, John.
Does he know how math works? Yeah.
Yeah. John, you allow 4 goals and score 5. Who won?
Right.
Yeah, but you're still allowed 4.
You're still allowed 4. As we complain about the Leafs losing to the Blackhawks.
Because what he's saying doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any. No. But when he does, so here's where he's definitely telling the truth, though, that he would talk to the guys after the game.
Yeah.
That's why I think everything he says is authentic.
Yeah.
Guys, I have to tell you, I understand where you're coming from. And sometimes in this profession, you step into a role that you're not necessarily totally comfortable with. So that it generates conversation, right?
Yeah.
The whole point is, one side takes one side, side takes the other. And when it comes to like nefarious things like, do you like, is a hot dog a sandwich or not? It doesn't really matter. But when it comes to stuff like this, he said some things there that I think are pretty authentic to the way he feels. And how I felt listening to that is the same way I felt listening to my parents talk about our generation in my 20s and how much softer we are. Not much, like, or how much, different we are, or how much, you don't know what it was like.
Well, Adam, wasn't it better when people would try skilled things, they were assaulted?
Yeah. Well, so this is the thing.
Wasn't that better?
When he says our game, that's the key point in that for me. Whose game?
The olds.
The olds. So here's what happens.
But not
everybody.
all the olds.
I want everybody to know this.
I'll stick
I want
up
you to
for
know
the
this.
fun olds.
Okay. Yeah. No. There's the fun olds. But at a certain point in everybody's life, the thing that you loved, that you're nostalgic about, passes you by. Mm-hmm. And that era no longer exists. That can be when you were in a band like I was when I was a teenager. It could be when you had a really cool car in the beginning of your 20s. It could be a really great run you went on in your career with a bunch of people that you loved. And then, some of them got promoted, some of them left the company, and it's not as fun anymore. All that stuff. That can all be true. But what Torts is saying is that the game is objectively worse because of this. That's what he's saying. And I do believe he believes that, because I don't believe he's able to step outside of himself and go, the type of fan that the NHL is trying to attract, the type of player that is coming up through the ranks, is not the type of player that they were trying to go after in the past.
You know what could have made the conversation so much more compelling? Is if he explained that he genuinely thought that, but that also he knows he's wrong. So he's like, why do I think this?
Because you're old. And beyond that,
is it because
he
I'm old?
He didn't explain his point very
he
well.
just- he just said a bunch of old guy
When they
stuff.
came back and they asked him a question, he kind of like sunk into himself further.
Yeah.
And he said like, I know I'm not very popular for this. And then he didn't defend his point in any way.
You ever do something dumb in school and your teacher makes you explain yourself and you don't? You can't defend yourself because you just, I don't know.
It wasn't a good conversation
Yeah.
on like his behalf.
So here's what I want to say. When I tweeted this, I retweeted this video from Sportsnet, and I said, I'm not sure John Tortorella's commentary is good for the game. Because he said, I'm not sure it's good for the game. I'm not sure his commentary is. And here was my point. I wasn't going after John personally, but to what Jesse just said there, I think he absolutely fucking nailed it. What is the debate? People were tweeting me. They're going, well, it sparks debate. What's the debate?
Also, no, it doesn't.
No, but seriously, like, what debate?
The debate is whether or not
the clip is
it's
highly
good.
shareable.
Like the Zegras goal is good for the game.
Right.
I guess that's what people are debating. But nobody's debating the other side.
So then let me ask you this on top of this, and you're a producer, Jesse. Steve, you're a producer. We're all produce content here. Is that a type of debate on an intermission show that's going to keep people compelled and glued to their seat? Or are they going to get up and make a sandwich? That is a get up and make a sandwich segment.
Yeah.
It's dead before it starts.
There was no debate.
There's no entertainment.
Yeah.
No. And here's the problem with ESPN and TNT, guys. They don't have anybody under 40 on their panels.
Arda's under 40, I think.
Okay, Arda.
Okay. I'll defend you, Arda. No, it's...
But guys, like, look at everybody's old. Everybody's old. We're trying to get young people. We got old people on... Get some young blood in there. There are people, I get it. I know that there are people ringside and that sort of thing, but you got to work your way up from ringside to get into the studio, don't you know? How about some new voices, please?
If you're not regularly disagreeing with each other, they can be old voices that disagree with each other.
Totally.
At least.
Like,
At
the
very
TNT
least.
panel's perfect. But the TNT panel hasn't, the TNT panel for basketball with Shaq and Charles, those guys are funny and they're relevant. What John Tortorella did there was make his job and what he says irrelevant. That is the worst. It's not whether it's bad or is it good. Are we apathetic about it?
But you know what? Those guys, for as fun as they are, they say some old shit too.
But it's
the
endearing.
basketball guys.
It's not irrelevant.
Sometimes.
But yeah, sometimes their whole shtick is just to go after the new guys. and
Yeah,
be like,
that's
they wouldn't
fine.
exist in the 90s.
This isn't like when I played.
But
Well,
is it-
no.
but is
it's
it fun?
not. Like,
But is it fun?
generally.
Yeah.
Generally.
Is that
They're
fun?
always having a good time.
No.
Was
No,
that
this
fun?
was a bad conversation.
That's a crime against broadcast, that segment. There is no excuse on that level that an intermission show should be that good. All the production staff, if I was the head of content there, I'd be like, guys, bring it in. We're revamping this whole fucking thing right now.
All publicity is good publicity? No. It's
I would never
that's-
watch that.
For
No.
anyone trying to get into broadcasting, that's a lie. By
Yeah,
the way, that's a lie.
Tortorella, he doesn't seem like he's that great of a broadcaster in his
He's not.
coaching career.
So I'm going to throw this out there. That's because that is John Tortorella. What you watched.
yeah.
That's John Tortorella. Because he's not... Like, when people meet me, they're surprised I'm not screaming at the top of my lungs and turning purple. But I'm not like that every moment of every day. That's authentically John Tortorella. He's, here's my thoughts on this and blah, blah, blah. The best of clips of John Tortorella, you're not going to get that on TV. He's genuinely angry in those clips.
You have to make him mad.
He's mad at Larry
But
Brooks.
if he was going to deliver this point, he shouldn't have delivered it sheepishly. Like, he should have
Yes.
delivered it like he's fighting Larry Brooks.
Yeah.
Maybe there's
Stephen
some,
A. Smith.
Like, I don't know.
Stephen A. Smith feels like he's going to attack you as he's giving you his argument and you still love him for it.
It's
What's
also
up with
just
that?
not a great point at its core.
No, it's true.
Where you can defend it. I don't know. It just doesn't work.
I read a book it's either about or by, it's been a long time, Ralph Mellenby, who's one of the guys who basically started Don Cherry in broadcasting, and we can talk about the many problems of Don Cherry. But one thing Mellenby did to start Cherry as a broadcaster is there was a segment where Don Cherry goes, yeah, I think the Leafs are going to make the playoffs and blah, 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 and it was part of a discussion. And when they got off air, Ralph goes, you never say you think. You're Don Cherry, you know.
Mhm.
Right? Someone needs to have that conversation with John.
I think you also need, there's a lot of work
Or
to go in there.
you got to at very least have that conversation with John, and he can take it or leave it.